I just finished listening to Demi Lovato's brand new album, It's Not That Deep, that dropped today, and this album took me by surprise. But let's just get right into it. This is what I thought of the album. But if you haven't listened to the album yet, make sure you save this video for later and come back after you do. So the last time we really heard from Demi was back in 2022 with her Holy F project, and this was Demi returning to her rock roots that she really established with her first two albums under the Disney umbrella. And in rock music, just like pop music, Demi Lovato sounds fantastic, touching any genre. But as one of pop's most consistent genre chameleons, it leaves you wondering, as a fan of pop music and a fan of Demi, what genre does Demi Lovato sit at home with, which works best with her voice? And let me tell you that Demi sounds just as good with dance music as she does with rock music, as she does with pop and R&B. It's Not That Deep consists of just 11 songs, barely clocking in over 30 minutes in total runtime. But this is by far the most free that Demi has sounded, and I don't even know how long. She no longer sounds weighed down by the burdens of her past and constantly trying to go for a crazy belt to prove how much of a vocal powerhouse she is. By far the best thing about It's Not That Deep is Demi Lovato's vocal performance, and you could say that about any Demi album, but what makes It's Not That Deep really unique is Demi's restraint. She's always had one of the biggest, loudest voices in pop music, but instead Demi's trading in her sword for a scalpel with this album. And from a production and songwriting angle, the pre-choruses on this album are so unbelievably sticky. They are by far my favorite parts of every single one of these songs. Some album highlights for me are definitely Here All Night. This was the lead single that got me the most excited for the project. Let You Go is a more mid-tempo moment on the album. For a diehard fan, this one reminded me a lot of 2016's Body Say. Sorry to Myself finds Demi writing about the same struggles she's sang about throughout most of her career, but this time handles it with a newfound sense of maturity. Her writing has always been so deeply autobiographical, but this time around, it doesn't feel like the listener is taking on that emotional burden that Demi is singing about. Now, a lot of the pre-release talk surrounding It's Not That Deep is this ripping off Charlie XCX's Brat? First, let me get it out of the way that this album is not ripping off Brat. It is way more of a nostalgia run-through of 2010's EDM, but also taking that through the lens of a post-Brat landscape. There's definitely moments that feel directly inspired by Brat, the largest of which is probably Kiss. It kind of feels like a Guess 2.0. And while both Brat and It's Not That Deep are deeply introspective bodies of work, Brat is way more brooding, far more experimental, and just flat out pessimistic at times. It's Not That Deep kind of falls into the opposite category, where it's really optimistic. It's all about love and passion and self-assurance. Is this anything truly groundbreaking? No. Is this anything really experimental? No. But it's exactly the kind of feel-good, lighthearted dance music that fans are going to eat up. It's Not That Deep is proof that Demi Lovato doesn't need to sing louder to sound stronger. In fact, it's that quiet confidence that says everything this go around. But sound off in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this album, and you can find my full review exclusively on my Substack.